Good morning, brothers and sisters. It's once again freezing up here in Fargo, but regardless, it's not going to distract us from the task at hand. It's not going to distract us from recording this video today. This one's going to be more so geared towards the fellas. Gentlemen, if you don't have the urge, the desire to be the best man that your family has ever seen, what are we doing? Everybody that came before you, and I'm not just talking about your parents, every person that came before you in your bloodline has set you up so that you can be in this unique position that you are in currently. Everybody has a different upbringing. Everybody has a different story. But regardless, we're living in the greatest time to ever live. There's never been this much opportunity. We have never had the freedoms that we do now. We never have the convenience to any degree like this before in human history. We're living during the greatest time to be successful, to start your own business, to do all these things. And yet we're sitting around being lazy. A lot of people today are weak, and a lot of men specifically are weak. And a big reason of this is because we've been told pretty much our whole lives that masculinity is bad. It's toxic. Being strong, being capable, being able to defend yourself, standing on your beliefs, standing up for what you believe in, standing up for people around you who maybe need somebody standing up for them. We've been told basically our whole lives that this stuff is bad. This stuff isn't good. We need to be more feminine. We need to be more loving and caring and embracing and gentle. Now, obviously, every good man needs to have this balance, and every good man does need to be able to nurture and love and care and show empathy and compassion, sympathy, all these different things. We need to have very good emotional intelligence to survive in this world and to have strong, powerful relationships. We can't be one extreme or the other. It's not good to be fully feminine. It's not good to be fully masculine either. As a man, you should definitely be majority masculine. That's just the natural energy that we were given when we were born. But again, we need to have both sides. We need to have a little bit of balance. There's a absolutely amazing book titled King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. I highly encourage you all to go read that book at some point. It's very, very excellent. I think it would help out literally every single person. But gentlemen, what's stopping you from wanting to be the best in your bloodline? Nobody else worked hard before you? Yeah, well, okay, let's take a look at what everybody historically in your family has gotten. Everybody's always been lazy and put the bare minimum forth and stifled their passion, stifled what they truly love because everybody around them told them to. They told them, shut up, get a stable job, pay the bills, support your family, shut up. Nobody cares about you. Don't do that. I urge you and challenge you to step outside of your comfort zone, step outside of the box. Don't continue to follow the same rules, the same guidelines, the same expectations that have always been in place. The only guarantee you receive from doing what has always been done is a guarantee of a life lived in quiet desperation. You say, "Oh, well, I don't have any good role models. You know, my dad's lazy. He works his job that he hates and comes home and just plays video games or sits on the couch and drinks beer nonstop. That's all he does when he's home." What? There's your inspiration right there. You should never want to fucking be like that. Think about how that's made you feel. Think about how that's fucked you up growing up. Do you want to have a family one day? Promise to yourself right now that you will never be like that then. Promise to yourself that you're going to be the best dad you possibly can be, that you're going to be sober, that you're going to be there for your kids, that no matter how tired you are after work, you're going to be there to play with them. You're going to always have a smile on your face. You're always going to have time for them. You say, maybe my dad didn't care about me. My dad didn't care to work hard for me. My dad didn't care to give me all the things that I wanted to care. He always involved me in his issues. He always involved me in, he always made it very clear that I was part of the reason that we were in such bad financial standing. Okay, again, don't be that guy. Start working your ass off right now. I don't know how old you are. You might be 12 years old. You might be 32 years old. You might already have kids, but regardless, just start working your ass off right now. You are subconsciously accepting that you're just going to be exactly the same because that's how your family is. It runs in your genes. It's in your genetics. That's how everybody goes. Nah, screw that. You don't have to be like that, but you do have to be the person to initiate that change because nobody's going to do it for you. And at the end of the day, you have to want it bad enough. If you don't want something bad enough, you're not going to do what you need to do to get it, to give yourself some different outcomes. You're going to have to do things to correct and iron out this trauma that has been built up in your head. And these guidelines, these rules, these things that you've told yourself are just going to be a guarantee for your life. You need to start rewriting them. You need to start getting them out of your head. You need to start reprogramming yourself. But at the end of the day, if you just constantly sit around talking about how you want to be different or you're going to be different, but you're not taking any action to actually be different, to figure out what you need to change, to be the best man in your bloodline, to be better than your father, to be better than your grandfather, then you don't want it bad enough. And here's one last thing that I will leave you with, guys. Everyone that came before you did the best that they possibly could. Whether you believe that or not, they did the best that they could do with the knowledge and information and the circumstances that they had at the time. You know, it's a pretty new thing for men to be a little bit more emotional and a little bit more in touch with their feelings and more empathetic and things like that. But it's not soft. It's not weak. It's none of that. It requires more strength than being hard and closed off and emotionless. It truly does. You know, we have a lot of new information nowadays, and we watched another generation, maybe a couple other generations, grow up with different parents, and we got to see those mistakes that they made, you know, iPad babies and all that bullshit. We get to choose to either take all this information that we have access to and study it and understand it and utilize it to better our circumstances, better our lives now, better our lives later, better the lives of our children one day, or we can choose to ignore it and repeat the same mistakes that have been made over again. Let's not continue to do the same things time after time after time after time, generation after generation after generation, and expect different, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And in all honesty, from what I observe in the world today, there are a lot of insane people. There are a lot of insane cultures. And sadly, unfortunately, we seem to live in relatively insane times, and we have been for a while, but you know, we have the power to change that. Obviously, not everybody will ever be fully on board with one idea, but I think by striving to be the best men in our families up to this point, we'll start to kind of claim back this world and claim back the energy, and we'll feel a more sense of calm about things. And the world is not lost, but at the same time, I feel like we're not all that far away from some sort of large scale, whatever it may be, catastrophe, war, I don't know. Things are very messed up today, and if you truly take a step back and analyze the political landscape of not only the US, but the entire world, kind of start to realize, like, man, anything could happen at this point. From that, you can derive two perspectives. Well, who cares? Why even try? Or things are pretty uncertain right now, so I might as well just do everything I absolutely can to make my situation as good as possible every single day. You know, two choices, and one is much easier than the other, but you know, I have a feeling we're still going to be around for quite a while, so sacrificing some of that short-term pleasure, some of that short-term comfort for long-term stability and long-term calmness, ease, you know, stress-free living is going to be worth it. So thanks for checking this one out, guys. I truly appreciate it. Let me know what you think down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.